In this lesson, you'll learn about Android styles and themes. In the next lesson, you'll learn how to apply them to your apps. A style is a collection of properties that specify the look and format for a display. A style can specify properties such as height, padding, font characteristics, and background color. Styles are defined in XML resources that are separate from the XML that specifies the display layouts. Styles in Android carry out a function similar to cascading style sheets in web design. They let you separate the design from the content. In the content summary to the right, if we click on Defining Styles, we see an example of a style. The resources, style, and item tags are used to define the style attributes. In the style tag, the style is given a name, code font in this example, and an optional parent style is designated from which this style can inherit properties. In the item tag, the name indicates what Android attribute is being defined, and the value, such as fill parent, is included following the name. To invoke a style, it's named using the style attribute, such as in this code example. Style equals @style code font. A theme is simply a style applied to an entire activity or application. When a style is applied as a theme, every view in the activity or application will apply each style property that it supports. This page in the API guide of the developer's website provides a good deal of information on styles and themes. In the design guide, there's a style section that also addresses these topics. In order to bring a more uniform look and feel to Android apps, starting with release 3.0, Google introduced the Holo family theme, shown here in the design guide. In Android 4.0, Google has made the inclusion of the unmodified Holo theme family a compatibility requirement for devices running Android 4.0 and forward. If an app doesn't explicitly request a theme in its manifest, the system will determine the default theme based on the app's target SDK version. For values less than 11, it'll use the Android style theme, THEME. Between 11 and higher, to this point anyway, it'll use the Android style theme.holo. One approach you can take to implementing themes is to rely as much as possible on the Holo family standard and then add in style adjustments to your app where you think they're needed. For example, you might have a special kind of button that you feel needs a different color or shading. If you have separate coding and design teams, during code development, you might use the Holo theme exclusively while the design team works on style enhancements that you implement in the later stages of development. Google has put a lot of effort into developing the Holo theme family, so why not take maximum advantage of it? Now let's look at some examples from the API demos to see what some different styles and themes look like. In the demos worksheet, let's filter the demo name for theme. We have a number of entries in the controls secondary group within views and one in the tabs secondary group. Let's check out the controls group by quickly looking through each of these demos. So if we click Views, Controls, here we have the demos, and we'll start at the top with Light Theme. And notice the light gray background with dark gray accents. And if we check a checkbox or radio button, we get a green fill, yellow fill for a star, green indicators for on and off, and we have a drop-down list with radio buttons and text colors. And this is a demo on the emulator running API 16 or Android 4.1.2. Now let's look at it in an emulator running a lower level, API 8 or Android 2.2. So on the left, in level 8, we'll click on the light theme. And remember on the right, we have level 16. And you're seeing here on the right the theme overridden by the Holo theme for many of the elements. Comparing these two, you can see the evolution of some of the graphic elements. The newer Holo theme on the right has flatter appearing objects with less shading and corner rounding and a gray background and a generally cleaner appearance. So if you compare the Save button here with the Save button here, you can see that cosmetic change. Now let's take a look at the others. So we'll go back and look at the dark theme. And if we go back here, we see the theme called Default Theme. So back in Android 2.2, those were the two options. So if we click on that, we're seeing a darkish theme, similar to but different than the dark theme here. So you notice the gray background is a little shaded. It's not quite as dark. Over here it's solid black. And you notice a difference in buttons and checkboxes and so forth. Now let's go back to the control screen. And we can remove this emulator because we don't have any more examples over here to show. So if we look at the Holo light theme, this uses the standard Holo family light theme. And the Holo standard family dark theme. And next we have a custom theme with a blue background. And finally, Holo or Old Theme, which is another custom theme. It's using a theme variation defined in the app. So that's our lesson on styles and themes, and we'll see how to use them in your apps in the next lesson.